Alright, here is the latest of my purchases. The SIG P226RX chambered in 9mm. I was originally looking for the 40 caliber version, that way I can get a 9mm conversion barrel, but it was nowhere to be found, so I went and picked this one up. Even with this one, I'd been looking for one for a few months now. With no luck, they were always out of stock. I would see people selling them used, but for $1,400. And it's a hard pass on that. I like this one because it is metal as opposed to polymer. It already comes with the optic. And here's just the contents, the manual. Again, I have the P226 variant of this. Not a whole lot to look at there. I'll probably skim through that later in case it has anything unusual, but I don't think so. It's pretty basic. The manual for the Romeo, and it's pretty straightforward. Just put the battery in, hold the up arrow for 2 seconds to turn it on, hold the down arrow 2 seconds to turn it off. Some decals. This does come with two magazines, two 15-round magazines. Little cap for the Romeo. I prefer these over the little plastic ones, the rubber ones that always fall off. I usually only put it on when I put them up in the safe. All right, let me turn this on. There you go. Now these are supposed to be on from the factory as far as zeroed, and from what I can tell, as long as the sights are on, it looks like it definitely is right where it should be. I like that it co-witnesses. That means there's potential for me to carry this. I don't carry anything with an optic that does not co-witness. I've just seen them get dirty because I do shoot a few with red dots, and I have had issues with an RMR not turning on while I was at the range, so it's always good to have a backup. Those issues have been resolved, but still I don't 100% trust it, so I'd rather have co-witness capabilities. Now this one is double action, single action, because I believe they have some single action only versions of this pistol. It does have a decocker. I'll likely change out the grips. They're okay, they look too plain to me, but they are comfortable. This one doesn't have the sharp beaver tail that the Legion does. I kind of like the way the Legion looks on the back, but not worth the additional price, and I don't like the finish on the Legion. So I'd rather deal with this. I mean, one piece that really doesn't affect me when you grab it. It's just aesthetics at that point, really. But it is a nice solid gun. I was looking at this one or the FNX Tactical in 45. That way I can use that as a suppressor host and just buy a can that's 45. Instead I went with this. This one I already have 9mm can, so I can just purchase the threaded barrel and use it. Right now the ones I have suppressed with that same can are primarily my Glock 19 and my M&P 9 Compact, although I could use it on a few others that I have. I figured might as well keep it all, for the most part, 9mm. I might still get the FNX Tactical later on, but for now I think this is a good purchase. I do plan on going to the range in a little bit, see how it shoots. I can't imagine it'd be too much different than my Beretta. Alright, at the range and disappointed. Greatly disappointed. Started shooting this, started off fine. I was shooting, you could see towards the center I was zeroing in the dot, and if you notice all those strays, I started using the sights, thinking, alright, let me make sure the sights are on, I know exactly where it's hidden, I can just put my dot to that point, and as you can see they're kind of all over the place. And I was wondering, why am I so off? Well, there you go. The sights were just sliding around. Left, right, a little this way, a little that way. I was kind of chasing paper. Not really paying attention because I was so focused on the sights. Look, I can move it just with my fingers. Right now I'm pressing a little harder, but to be honest, they were sliding around. But again, I didn't notice until I realized my aim is really off, and I'm not that bad of a shot. Suppressor height, night sights. Look at that. That's how I was viewing it. I was just paying attention to the sights, not realizing that they were actually drifting in the dovetail. I was even questioning whether it was me gripping it loosely. Alright, here it is. Just went ahead and took that off. Didn't need any tools to remove that rear sight. So here at my workbench, looking at everything, seems to be fine as far as all other parts of the gun. Check the red dot, make sure it wasn't moving. And I'm just pushing these and yep, out they come. So either the dovetail for this gun was cut too wide, or somebody filed these sights just too much. I originally thought it had some sort of set screw I wasn't paying attention to, like my M&P does, where you can just kind of tighten it down. And I thought about putting some sort of Loctite, but what's it going to lock to? It's just going to stay there. So I'll be sending this back to SIG first thing Monday. But it does suck. I mean, this is a complete fail on their part. To be honest, I should have noticed this at the FFL when I was there at Primary Arms, but who really moves the sights? I mean, it's not like you expect them to fall off. So all it took was just a couple of shots, just regular 124 grain. I put about 2 magazines through this. It was during that second magazine that I started using the sights that I realized that my aim was completely off. So this does suck. You pay $1,100 for a gun only to have it fail and have pieces almost fall off. The range I was at, there's grading on the floor. Underneath is just a bunch of spent brass. And luckily, when this was about to fall off, I noticed, because it would have been gone. I'd be out rear sights, and I'm sure they would give me a tough time about that. Probably accuse me of something like removing them or having messed with it. So yeah, this sucks. I'm just going to make sure the optic's off since I will be packaging this back up. I just finished cleaning it. I didn't show it on there. It had nothing more than just a little bit of residue and just factory oil on it, really. So yeah, let me just put this little cap back on. Snapped in, RMR's off. It sucks. Again, I waited for so long to get this gun, and day one at the range. I've never had something like this happen with any of my other guns. Even if I was disappointed in the gun, nothing to do with quality. I guess people right now are just hurrying up to push anything out.